the Honorable MEC and her team. In respect of this meeting, I indicated that the House was still in session and we were running late because of the tight schedules that we really have. And I'm aware that members of parliament have not rested at all. We're switching from another meeting to this important meeting, a continuation meeting with the Department of Cooperative in Mpumalanga. On that note, once more, I welcome all of you to this important meeting. We were supposed to have this meeting last week, but because the MEC was also committed, she had oral questions to answer at the level of the legislature. We understood and accepted the apology and therefore postponed this meeting. I just checked the roll call. We're forming a quorum. We are sufficient. We can proceed with this meeting. As you are aware, this is a follow-up meeting from the one that we had based on what the MEC briefed us about the state of municipalities in the Mpumalanga province, especially after the provincial government or this department invoked Section 106 of the Municipal Systems Act in most of the municipalities where investigations were conducted on the allegations of fraud, maladministration, corruption, and all other malfeasances that were conducted that happened in that province, which warranted the invocation of Section 106 of the Municipal Systems Act. I'm not sure, Morse, who has submitted an apology to this meeting. Who has apologized?
A person from the committee, we haven't received any formal apology, but from the department, we got apologies from the minister and the deputy minister. Thank you, Chairperson.
Minister and deputy minister, okay.
Yes, Chairperson.
Those are noted, but I think we can proceed. We are sufficiently correcting. We can proceed. Honorable MEC, as you are aware, this is a continuation of the meeting that we held 2 weeks ago on the state of municipalities in Mpumalanga in respect of the work that you were doing. And you took us through the report, and we felt that there were some questions that needed to be answered. We felt that there were gaps that were identified that needed to be filled. We felt that there was additional information that you needed to cover, so that as much as the presentation was comprehensive, it must indeed give members a sense, so that when they engage with it, it must be from that understanding that all the issues were comprehensively covered. Can I take this opportunity to allow you to respond to all the questions and fill us up with all the other information before we engage with the presentation? Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me greet you and also to greet honorable members that have logged in, HOD and support staff, both from COPTA and also from the NCOP. Chairperson, it is true that I have presented a lengthy presentation in our last meeting, a very detailed one, and I have also submitted that version to honorable members for perusal, taking into account on what was raised by honorable members, Chairperson. I have also downscaled my presentation. Allow me to take you through, Honorable Chairperson. In terms of the purpose, Chairperson, we are saying that is to respond to National Council of Provinces commitment on the progress report on intervention in Lekwa, Dr. Pixliga Isaka Seme Gavin Mbegi, and Dr. J.S. Moroka local municipalities in terms of Section 106, subsection 1B of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act. Chairperson, in terms of the background, the findings of the Section 106, subsection 1B of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act of 2000 will be implemented in short term, medium term, and long term. Dr. Pixliga Isaka Seme local municipality has made significant progress implementing the recommendations followed by Gavin Mbegi local municipality. The process has been slow in Lekwa and Dr. J.S. Moroka local municipality. The administrator in Lekwa has committed in prioritizing the implementation of the report. The matters of slow implementation of the investigation report will also be raised with the troikas of the new council in Lekwa and Dr. J.S. Moroka municipalities. What have municipality done after receiving the report? Chairperson, all the affected municipalities developed action plans to respond to the findings. These action plans were tabled and approved by the respective councils. The department guided the municipalities on the development of the action plans. The department monitors the implementation of the action plans on a quarterly basis. Chairperson, unresolved matters, we are saying that a matter is resolved when a matter is resolved, it means according to the remedial action, the municipality has indicated on the action plan, the activity has been accomplished. And in progress matter, these are matters that according to the remedial action, the municipality has indicated on the action plan, the activity is still work in progress. And the department monitors progress on matters on a quarterly basis. On unresolved matters, these are matters that according to the remedial actions, the municipality has indicated on the action plan, there is no or very little progress that have been made in resolving them. These are matters that the department engages with the municipality to get them addressed. The following slide number 5, Honorable Chairperson, is the example of resolved matters. We pick up Dr. Pixliga Isaka Seme, local municipality. The allegation there is that the act of maladministration leveled against the office bearers and employees, interference by the executive mayor in the administration of the municipality. Then the findings is that the executive mayor and some councillors do interfere in the administration of the municipal council. Then the remedial action by municipality is that training to be provided to councillors and municipal staff on roles and powers. And progress that was submitted by the municipality is that the training of the office bearers, all councillors on roles and responsibilities of councillors training took place on the 4th of March in 2021. In terms of the comments by the department is that finding have been resolved. On issues of the executive mayor, did instruct Mjali Zimema attorney to act on behalf of the municipality. The instruction by the executive mayor was unlawful and the payment of Mjali Zimema attorneys was therefore irregular. As a result of the unlawful instruction and the irregular payment, the municipality incurred a loss of 194,828.50 in illegal fees. Then the remedial action by the municipality is that in relation to the 194,828.50 cents, the municipal council to discuss this matter and take the necessary action to reprimand the executive mayor for him not to commit similar conduct in future. The progress is that the council committee established to investigate the matter has exonerated the executive mayor. It found that the executive mayor acted lawfully when he instructed the attorney to act on behalf of the municipality as per his allegation. And in terms of the comment by the department is that the matter has resolved, the municipality has resolved this finding. On issue of non-implementation of municipal resolutions, wrong resolutions are passed. The finding was that council resolutions are not implemented. Some are partly implemented, and in some instances, resolutions are taken without following correct procedures. The remedial action by the municipality is that council to establish a special committee to monitor the resolution register. Progress as submitted by the municipality is that mayoral committee and oversight committee of council are briefed on the implementation of the council resolution monthly, and that the MM and the manager legal attend all council meetings and are given opportunity to advise council. In terms of the comment by the department is that the municipality has resolved the findings. Then on irregular payment of overtime, the findings is that the allegation of the allegation is substantiated. In some instances, people work more hours per day in excess of what the law and the policy stipulates. The municipality must adhere to the overtime policy and applicable legislation. Remedial action by the municipality is that municipality must adhere to overtime policy and applicable legislation. And progress submitted by the municipalities that managers to report on all overtime monthly. The top management monitor the implementation of the policy. And comment by the department is that the municipality has made progress in addressing the findings. It's still in progress. And on issues of vacant position be filled as a matter of agency, the remedial is that vacant post must be filled as the high vacancy rate led to the abuse of overtime. Progress submitted by the municipality is that prioritization of the filling of posts is dependent on the financial position at the time for the municipality. And the municipality needs to fill all vacant funded posts. And in terms of the comments by the department is that the municipality has made progress in addressing the findings. Then on underspending in terms of MIG fund, the resolution in terms of the findings was that the resolution of the municipality to implement the MIG funded project internal resulted in Mr. Mpangeva, the PMU manager, registering on the system as the contractor and the consultant. And the remedial action by the municipality was that council considers its resolution to implement the MIG funded projects internally. And progress submitted by the municipality is that consultants appointed for 1 year and the contractor were appointed for the 2020-2021 financial year. And the comment by the department was that the municipality is making progress in addressing the findings. The municipality has indicated that they are still conducting investigation on the matter. It is still in progress. And on another findings that Mr. Mpangeva was a referee and the player at the same time. And this led to the floating of procurement policies, DP, KIS SLM 7. And that in terms of the remedial action is that the role of the PMU manager in all the MIG funded projects where he was involved as a contractor and the consultant be investigated. And the progress that was submitted is that the acting MM, Mr. N. Mukako, appointed to investigate as per the disciplinary code at the special council sitting on the 28th of April 2021. And the acting MM was appointed to investigate this matter. And the municipality is making progress in addressing the finding. And in terms of, I will move to another one because the A1 is still talking to the issue of that progress. I'm looking at the screen if we're still following each other. Okay. On issue of Mr. Mpangeva in terms of the MIG under age, that this he did in contravention of the key principles of MIG policy framework. For example, Mr. Mpangeva in one of his reports reported that the MIG was utilized 100%, and which was not true. The National Treasury picked this up when the municipality requested a rollover of 4.1 million that was not spent. And in terms of the remedial action by municipalities, that the disciplinary action be taken against Mr. Mpangeva for reporting that 100% of the MIG fund has been spent when in fact it was not spent. Then in terms of the progress is that on the 2nd of June 2021, Mr. Mpangeva was suspended, and that on the 3rd of August 2021, council referred the matter to the disciplinary board, and that the matter is still under the consideration of disciplinary board. It is still in progress. On underspending of MIG funds, the finding is that the resolution of the municipality to that, the role of the municipal manager in requesting and signing of the letter for the rollover be investigated. And the remedial by the municipality is that the role of the municipal manager in requesting and signing of the letter for rollover be investigated. The progress as submitted by a municipality is that the municipality appointed an investigation team to investigate the matter. The report was submitted to council on the 20th of April 2021, and the MM was subsequently suspended, and disciplinary processes are currently underway. And that on the 3rd of August 2021, council referred the matter to the disciplinary board, and the matter is still under the consideration of the disciplinary board. The matter, in terms of the comments, it is still in progress. On another allegation in terms of the total collapse in human settlement department, particularly with regards to the allegations of stands. The findings was that the Provincial Department of Human Settlement conduct a verification process to check if the people living in the houses are the correct beneficiaries. In terms of remedial action, is that MEC Cooperative to engage the MEC for Human Settlement to address the human settlement challenges in the municipality. And the progress is submitted by the municipalities that Cooperative has submitted the matter to the Department of Human Settlement, and no response has been received. And in terms of the comment by the department is that the matter has not been addressed. It means that it is not resolved. Another findings is that a meeting between MEC for Cooperative and DCSSL be held to address the conduct of SAPS members in Volksrust in investigating some of the unlawful eviction done by councillors, municipal officials, and SAPS. And remedial action was that MEC Copter to engage the MEC for DCSSL to address the conduct of SAPS in Volksrust. In terms of the progress submitted, Copter has submitted the matter to the DCSSL and no response has been received. And in terms of the comment by the department, it means that the matter has not been resolved, has not been addressed. It is not resolved. Then in conclusion, Chairperson, the department has established a project steering committee to monitor the implementation of the Section 106 investigation reports. The committee comprises of the following stakeholders: Provincial Copter, National Department of Copter, Office of the Premier, the Integrity Management Unit, Provincial Treasury, Provincial Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Mpumalanga Provincial Public Protector, and SAPS Directorate of Priority Crime Investigation. The process of ensuring that all members of the Project Steering Committee are vetted has delayed the functionality of the committee. All progress reports are presented to the Executive Council for them to note progress and give guidance. And that municipalities are submitting quarterly progress reports, and that the department will visit municipality quarterly to verify progress reported by municipalities in addressing the finding of Section 106 investigation report, and that the investigation report will be tabled to the new councils for them to be informed and also monitor their implementation. The new council will be expected to give time frames on addressing all findings that have not been addressed, and that the department will continue to monitor the implementation of the recommendations of the investigation reports, and if such are not being implemented, will not hesitate to explore any legal remedies available to it. And that through the legal unit in the department, municipalities will be supported to pursue civil cases against all individuals, service providers, where money must be recouped. And that all forensic reports will be handed over to law enforcement agents to pursue further action. Honorable Chairperson, the following slides are the analysis per municipalities that we have done as the department. In terms of Dr. Pixiga Isaka Seme local municipality, the municipality has made progress in addressing the findings of the Section 106 investigation report. A number of short-term solutions have been addressed, and the municipality has instituted consequence management against officials currently in the employ of the municipality who have been implicated in allegations of wrongdoing, and that the MM has been suspended and is undergoing disciplinary processes, and the PMU manager is also on suspension and undergoing disciplinary processes. The following cases, Chairperson, will be reported to law enforcement agencies. The conduct of the PMU manager, Mr. Mpangeva, in the awarding of MAKE projects, the conduct of the supply chain official, Mr. Hadebe, and the PMU manager, Mr. Mpangeva, in the abuse of non-compliance of supply chain management processes, including fictitious quotations and supplies, and the selling of RDP houses and empty stands by Councillor T.A. Masibuk. Analysis in as far as Governor Mbeki is concerned, Honorable Chairperson, is that the municipalities has made progress in addressing some of the findings. There are still some findings that the municipality has not made any progress on. Only 2 findings have been resolved. One by the resignation of the CFO, 6 are in progress, and 2 have not been addressed. The municipality has initiated disciplinary processes against the following implicated municipal officials: Advocate T.M. Gininda, M.H. Ramuleta, Mr. S. Rasmini, Mr. T.I. Pungwayo, Mr. E. Mkombe, Mr. S. Mkwen. The municipality must also take action against former officials and councillors who are implicated in wrongdoing but have left the institution, and that the action being taken against service providers implicated in wrongdoing is very lackluster. The action, the municipality has reported cases of fraud and corruption to the Hawks, and these are being investigated. The following cases have been reported to law enforcement agent by the municipality in as far as Governing local municipality is concerned. That corrupt relationship between councillors, officials, and service providers, and non-compliance to supply chain processes leading to irregular appointment of service providers, illegal extension of contracts, etc., and that the abuse of and non-compliance to supply chain management processes. There are findings of deviations on projects and irregular expenditure. Analysis in as far as local municipality is concerned is that the municipality has made progress in addressing some of the findings. However, there are some findings that municipality has not addressed. 4 of the findings have been resolved by the municipality. 5 are in progress and they have not processed 2 of the findings. The administrator is committed himself to ensuring the implementation of the Section 106 investigation report, and that law enforcement agents are investigating the allegation of impropriety in the municipalities. The following cases will be reported to law enforcement agents: that irregular appointment of service provider for the compilation of the general valuation role and the extension of the existing general valuation role, and the non-compliance to SCM processes and irregular appointment of service providers, PMU manager and the former MM, and irregular appointment of Tapiwe Logistics and Kalandra Trading 621 Pty Ltd JV, and the non-compliance to the Municipal Supply Chain Management Regulations 32 on appointment done using this regulation. That is the appointment of Nako Liso Consulting Takron Pty Ltd. In terms of Dr. J.S. Moroka, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, the municipality has not addressed any of the findings of Section 106 investigation report. The municipality has shown poor commitment to address the findings of the Section 106 investigation report, and that there are no civil or criminal proceedings that have been instituted against individuals implicated in impropriety to recover the lost funds. The following cases will be reported to law enforcement agents: act of nepotism in the irregular employment of Ms. K. Sekwala, the daughter of Councillor M. Sekwala, appointment of Ms. S. Ngwane and Ms. Jean Tuli, wives of Councillor Madonsela, and the appointment of Ms. M. Maja, wife of Councillor Nkailane. And that abuse of non-compliance to the Municipal Supply Chain Management Regulation number 32 on appointment of service providers, resulting in fictitious invoices being submitted without services being rendered. And that irregular extension of contracts Matapunuga Trading CC's contract was extended irregularly, and there were acts of fraud as the extension letter was backdated. And that irregular appointment of internal audit service provider and irregular appointment of 2 security companies, Cedars and Matimpule Security Services. And the 40 million spent on the construction of a fresh produce market that was never completed. And the 18 million spent on boreholes, on drought relief projects, with some boreholes being drilled in homes of councillors and officials in the municipality. The following cases will be reported to law enforcement agents: abuse of municipal petrol cards, fleet by officials, and irregular awarding of bursaries to Miss P. Riba and Miss M. Bo Oshoman. Thank you very much, Chairperson. This is the short of the extensive report that I presented in our last meeting, Honorable Chairperson. I've tried to summarize everything, hoping that honorable members, since we have submitted the very thick document, they have gone through them, Chairperson. Thank you very much for the time afforded to us as the department to make the presentation.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, for once more a very detailed, elaborate presentation on the work that you are doing in respect of the investigations in those municipalities identified in the Mpumalanga province. Honorable members, 2 weeks ago, the MEC presented a very thick document, a 94-pager, containing the summary of the details of the summary that she's giving today, this afternoon, in respect of those municipalities. The report is before you for engagement. Can I make this suggestion? My suggestion is that honorable members have got the right to ask any question in respect of the 2 presentations, the 2 weeks ago presentation and the today's presentation. Any question, any matter that you feel very strong that needs to be addressed, that you have identified, you are free to can engage with that particular matter. You can do that in essence, or even ask questions. But can I draw you to this latest document that the MEC has presented before us? I think it is slide number, let me just confirm it. I think it's slide number 12, number 11, and slide number 12. Yes, slide number 11 and slide number 12. This is the essence of what the MEC is dealing with. In these 2 slides, the MEC presents conclusions and some of the work that they are doing in response to these investigations on how the department is dealing with these investigations to ensure that they are implemented. Part of the work is to set up a project steering committee that monitors the implementation of this, that all members of this project steering committee are vetted, that they report to the Executive Council of the province on quarterly basis. They expect municipality as well to present reports. This is, for me, the most important part, because what we need to know and determine as this committee is whether is there follow-up, is there implementation, Is there progress registered in respect of these allegations which were investigated? And when and if there are problems, we should then identify those particular problems and deal with them and bring them to the attention of the department. Therefore, based on this, I suggest that we look at this, and you are free to ask any question flowing from the two presentations, but this is the crux of the matter, so that at the end of the day, we should be satisfied that we're doing well and that the department is implementing what it is supposed to implement to ensure that we take these particular processes forward. Over to you, honorable members. The floor is yours. You can engage with the presentations. Over to you. I see Honorable Shahidi Sheikh. Yes, I see the one hand only. She can proceed, maybe other hands will come. Over to you, Honorable Sheikh.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and I'm going to request that I switch off my video. The reason being is that I'm using the same gadget for the presentation. And I want to make reference to some things. Chair, thank you very much. And let's also thank the Honorable MEC for the presentations that were made the other week as well as today, and also for summarizing some of the issues. And I think that, you know, Chair, as you've indicated, the crux of some of these issues are around, especially from a provincial government perspective, around the follow-up, around monitoring, etc. And the fact that they put up a project steering committee, I think is also commendable. Chair, obviously, I think also in terms of the content of what is being presented around maladministration, corruption, etc. These are very, very serious matters, and obviously we want to see consequence management, and I think some of the aspects have been presented, and some disciplinary proceedings are unfolding. And also we would want to be briefed as well in terms of what are the outcomes of some of these disciplinary matters. And also other matters have been referred to law enforcement agencies. And I think matters are unfolding, Chair. Chair, I think with regard to JS Moroka municipality that did not address any of the findings, the MEC indicated that they do quarterly progress, they monitor progress quarterly, but I think on this one, she must indicate to us why the municipality did not address in any of the findings. Chair, I just want to ask one other question of clarity in terms of how findings are made in terms of the presentation. Because, Chair, the reason I'm raising this, and I'll use the example that was again used by the MEC as an example of a matter that is resolved. And the example I'm going to use is the one in Dr. Pixley Kaisakaseme municipality. I think it's on your slide. It's slide number 5. And through you, Chair, Honorable MEC, there's a finding that is made, for example, that the ex-mayor gave an instruction to an attorney, right, to act on behalf of a municipality. It's unlawful. It's an unlawful instruction. There's an irregular payment, and it results in illegal fees, right? Yet, when the municipality reports on progress, the executive mayor is exonerated because he acted within his delegations, his or her delegations. Okay, but what concerns me a bit about this report is that there are a number of findings. There's an allegation. I would imagine there's some level of investigation, and then there are findings. And these findings, I would imagine, would come it's a bit disconcerting that there are certain findings which are refuted, and as a result, they resolve. But perhaps if you can explain how many such findings have come up in the report that you presented, which, as the municipality does its own investigation, and when they give you progress, there's an indication that they come up with other information that results in, I don't want to use the word, but like a non-finding, like it shouldn't have been a finding in the first place. Chair, I think that's my concern, but other than that, I think this is a very important report that was presented to us, and yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Shaik. You'll be followed by Honorable Mtatwa, Honorable Fesser, Honorable Bartlett, and Honorable Kenny Mutsamai, in that order.
No, thanks, Chair.
And Honorable Zandamela, in that order. Sorry, Honorable Zandamela.
No, thank you, Chairperson. Thanks for the report that has been presented. We welcome it. But Chair, I was listening to it, and also I've gone through this report. I've got a problem with such a report, because this report has got a lot of investigation that's still not yet completed. And it also touches a lot of allegations for individuals that are not even being brought to books in terms of the law enforcement. We don't get a report that these people, these are the processes that is happening for them, but they're still outstanding. It makes it difficult, Chair, to deal with a report of this kind of nature, because all what we want to know as to what happened, where, like in one instance in Governing Peggy, they said there were people that had a corrupt relationship with the contractors, but we don't know. Were they exchanging money? If it was money, how much that money was found that they were using money to do whatever. And they were saying they're relative of each other that were employed irregular on the system. We don't know as well. It was not explained explicitly that were they in a position for the first place when they were employing these people, or they were just doing their own things. It makes it difficult, Chair, to deal with a report like this, because remember, people's lives are at stake in a report like that. So we must be careful when we're dealing with it. We want to know exactly that, and there are a lot of issues that as well also not been finalized. Still pending, they're still waiting for investigation. The municipality reluctant to take decision. I don't think, Chair, at our level, we need to discuss all those nuts and bolt issues. All we wanted to do as an NCOP, we want to take a decision as to say, this municipality is reluctant to implement 1, 2, 3. These are the findings. So that's why, Chair, I still find it difficult for me to deliberate on a report of this nature. I rather send it back, this report, to be finalized before it comes to us to take the appropriate decision. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mtatwa. Honorable Fesser.
Please note me, Chair. Ne? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you, MEC, for the report, but I agree with my colleagues so far in as much as the discipline has been conveyed in with this report. If you look at, I think it's on page 5, where it says that this the PMU manager, that is being handled, his case is being handled internally with internal discipline. but it's fraud, it's corrupt activities that's happening there. So why does the municipality or those involved in this case, why do they go and do like a cover up and go into their own disciplinary system, and then it takes from April to August, and then it's a new council. So the new council will not have all the facts. They wasn't present at that time when these things happen. So it doesn't make sense to me. And I just feel that we are nurturing endemic fraud within this municipality. If you look at the executive mayor who resigned, he was exonerated and then returns as an MMC. So what was it? A slap on the wrist? MEC returns. Where is the MMC now? We don't know. It feels to me, if I listen and I read through this thing, and I did it extensively, it feels like the municipality, the provincial government, they are dragging their feet, because the time that is lapsed in between and things that happens in between is just proof that there's no conclusion of stuff. If we look at the maladministration and the mismanagement, and even at the end of a term that councils do not know where is their limits, where must they get off, when are they involving themselves or stuff like that. It just seems that it is poorly managed, and we cannot accept this to continue like it is at the moment. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Bartlett.
Yes, sorry also for not putting my video on. But Chair, I don't think I need to say anything. I don't want to repeat what the previous speaker said. Because to me also, this report is it's not that it's incomplete. There's a lot of issues that they still need to do. The law, the allegations, they must still do the law things and everything. So I don't think, Chair, we must discuss this report, and for either complete the report and it's done with everything, then they can come back to us and not undermine us as a committee. So those such things as allegations, irregular expenditures, which we know it's very much important. But let's just go back and complete it, and then we can come back to us, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mutsamai, followed by Honorable Zandamela and Honorable Sileku.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, report na haya fella ho ha. And wa utlwisisa hore report ena ka re ke ntwe ne go iketsetswa yone fela. Ha se report e leng gore o re bolella gore batho ba tsamaile batho ba tsamaile le di councilor. Why those people ba ne ba sa charge na go ba le mong? And ntwe nngwe e ke ipotsang yone gore MEC a o believe mo nthong e tshwana le ntho e entsahetseng ka FW de Klerk mo e leng gore motho a shwe ha fetsa ho shwa ko ona ta ikopa maitshwarelo ha a tlo shwa. Why batho ba ba etsang corruption ba sa charge then ba tlo a tlo re bolella ka ntho ena gore no batho ba ne ba le mong and they fail to charge them ba tsamaile go baneng ba ne ba sa charge. Why batho ba ba etsang corruption di case tsa bone di nka nako e tele go fitla jwalo? Ke a tseba re hona le mo e leng gore batho ba bangwe o ka simple wa re ga ra ba charge ne re ba tshaba. Why a sa re bolele gore ke bo mang batho ba buang ka bone o ke ntho iketsetsang yone because wa bona gore right we tlo bona ntho e leng gore e nentse etsagala corruption ya mo ga enkelwe tlhogong a zanga ba enkele tlhogong. That's why a sa re report e tletseng. Nna tsontle re bolele gore ke bo mang ba ba tsamaileng ke bo mang ba ba entseng jina a re bolele gore so o ba the people tele yone because it doesn't mention anyone. Ke di councilor le ba bang ba ba tsamaileng ke bo mang batho ba gore a report ena ha ya fella Chairperson a e boele morago a o e qala afresh after frame ile batho ba batho ba frame. I thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Zandamela.
Oh, thanks, Chairperson. Without repeating what my colleagues have said, I think we also agree with the investigations have been there for quite some time.
Honorable Zandamela, there seems to be problem with your line, and we want to hear your voice, especially of the fact that this is your province.
I don't know
Your
what's
line is not the best.
I don't know what might be the problem, Chairperson, but on my side, everything is it's fine. I don't know if am I now audible? Can you hear now? I'm trying something and see if.
Yeah, proceed. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was saying, Chairperson, I agree with the colleagues that the report itself, there's been investigations. Recommendations are there. You know, if I can go to one or two municipalities like Liqua, JS, and Cabinet, all of them, recommendations are there. There was even a recommendation that by the then MEC that the speaker must go in and open and lay criminal charges against the people who are implicated. And that has not been done. And it's not mentioned in the report. Indeed, the speaker did go through the law enforcement. Same as in Dr. JS, the issue of the 40 million that was spent on that agriculture. It's on the report, but there's no arrests, there's nothing. It's very worrying that year in, year out, we will hear that there's progress. There's no progress. The MEC says there's a progress, especially in government. There's no progress in government. Nothing has been done. In Liqua, the same. Pixley, I said, the same. There's no progress at all in making sure there's action taken against people who are implicated in them. So if we can get there, there's a committee. Because that's all that is important in this committee. That we should know that all the culprits are arrested and they are behind bars, or somehow the money that they've stolen from the state. Thank you.
Right. Are you done, Honorable Zandamela? Honorable Zandamela, are you done?
Yes, I'm done, Chairperson. I'm done.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Honorable Silegu.
Good afternoon, Chair, and to the honorable members and to the honorable MEC. No, Chair, from the onset when we received this report, I had my own questions as to what is our role as the member of the committee pertaining to this particular report. Why I'm saying that because some of the findings or some of the people that are alleged to have done something wrong is people that has left the municipality. It's councillors that have not returned. And one asks a question, why did it take so long for this particular report to be actually attended to, knowing that we were faced with an election and the probabilities are there that some of them would not come back. And also, Chair, that one concern is that, especially if you talk about Pixley, Dr. Pixley ka Isaka Mele local municipality, there is one finding that talks about the total collapse in terms of human settlements, that people that are actually beneficiaries are not the ultimate people that should be beneficiaries. And then you don't find any response into that. And also in terms of how does one define progress in a particular instance, we might not agree, because my understanding of progress might not be the same understanding in terms of, the authors of the report or the municipalities. And then it also takes me back, Chair, to that unfortunately we don't have the complete or report in terms of what should be done, by when, and by who. And I would also like to latch to what Honorable Sheikh has said. I find it very, very, very confusing, Chair, that a Section 106 investigation would say that Honorable Sileku, as a mayor, you have actually overplayed your hand. And then logic tells me that if I do an investigation, I should be able to look in terms of my delegation or my delegated powers if I was able to do such an act. That's how an investigation should be. But now, when an investigation says now you've actually acted illegally, you overplayed your hand, and then your council says no, we're going to establish a disciplinary board that is going to look into this allegation, and then they come and they say no, according to our delegations register in this particular municipality, the mayor was in his right to actually instruct the lawyers. Then it becomes confusing, Chair, and it becomes very suspicious. Suspicious because we all know in terms of what happens in local government. In local government, there is no consequent management. Everybody protects each other. So it's a friend of a friend. We sort each other out. We protect each other, and we just, we just let things flow. So I am really worried as I sit here as a member of the committee as to what role are we going to play in terms of this particular investigation, Section 106, as to make sure that whatever recommendations that were set is going to be implemented, and by when. One would also welcome what the summary or the conclusion says in terms of different cases that are going to be reported to the law enforcement agencies. Now, then one wants to ask, when are these cases going to be reported? To who are they going to be reported? When are we going to get case numbers? Because that's the kind of question that the public is actually expecting. And there is clear conflict of interest when it comes to some of the councillors in some municipalities where it's not disputed that bursaries has been, dispersed to members, to boyfriends, and nothing is happening to those people. And it's not just for once, it's more than one person, and no one is taking action. And now you find a report that tells us no progress has been made. This matter has not been attended to. None. There's a recommendation that has been, written, and municipalities, they just ignore them. And I can tell you now, that particular council is no longer there. So what's going to happen now? Because they failed to implement what we're supposed to implement. So someone needs to just, explain to us as members of the particular committee, how are we going to deal with this matter? Because some people are not in the administration, some people are in the administration. So there's more question than answers, Chair, in this particular report. And one would have loved, honestly, Chair, I would have loved for us as the committee to have the full report per municipality, engage with that particular municipality, but ultimately they need to implement that particular recommendations. As much as the department is there, they will play their role of monitoring if progress is made. But the buck stops with those municipalities. And it is very important that we as the committee have those different, Section 106 reports so that we can have an opportunity to engage with these particular municipalities, because they must take action. And if they don't take action, it's our responsibility of asking why they're not taking action. I think, Chair, I've exhausted my input in this particular matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, honorable members, for your reflections. Honorable MEC, let's start here. There is a reason why your department, yourself, actually as the MEC, or any of your predecessors instituted the investigations in those municipalities. And in terms of Section 106, an MEC of a province institute such investigations because of the allegations of nepotism, of fraud, of maladministration, of corruption, or any wrongdoing in a municipality. An MEC will institute an investigation. And out of those investigations, there would be reports with some findings, conclusion, as well as recommendations about what needs to be done to redress the situation. What is quite clear, and this is a view of most of the honorable members, is that yes, investigations were conducted, wrongdoers were identified, but the problem is that little, if not nothing, was done to either recover the funds which were misappropriated, which were misused, which were stolen, and little in that respect is done to recover the money, the public money. But two, there is no consequence management. There is no clear case in all of these reports that demonstrates that serious actions were taken against the wrongdoers. And where investigations are taking place, they are perpetual, very long, and ending without results. And this is the bottom line of what members are raising. That at the end of the day, there is nothing that is happening or no action is taken against the perpetrators of all of these things. And that is where the problem is. And that is the main concern of honorable members. But what is good about this report is that it has shed light about the seriousness of the problems in Mpumalanga, the depth of what we're dealing with here. We're dealing here with people who don't respect the law, who don't respect the processes, who don't respect the system. As you can see, that people can disburse bursaries to friends, to daughters and sons, to wives and fiancés. That people can take decisions which have profound negative implications for municipalities without any consequences. Councillors, even mayors, interfere in the supply chain management processes. And out of these municipalities, one of those, Lekwa, was dissolved just on the eve of the elections. We visited ourselves at this committee. We visited some of these municipalities. Your Governor Beki in Secunda, the situation was very terrible. Once a very beautiful, stable city, a mining city, a very prosperous city, it has collapsed. Poor service delivery, water spillages, sewer spillages. The roads are very bad. Lekwa is the same situation. The other municipal that we visited was J.S. Moroka in Siabusa, former Kwandebele. The situation was terrible. We were told that the mayor of that area, the once mayor of that area, was using bodyguards. And for a month, he was spending more than 400,000 of taxpayers' money paying his bodyguards, contrary to the legislation, to the applicable legislation and the regulations. And it was business as usual. Some of these municipalities, Section 1391B was invoked, but little is demonstrated in terms of consequence management to really demonstrate that we are serious about resolving these problems. Personally, I accept that, yes, you have put up the systems in place by appointing a project steering committee, by insisting that municipalities must submit reports and so on. But some of these municipalities, your reports say they are reluctant to cooperate, to even implement the recommendations of the investigations. And honorable members are right. Some of these people, you will not trace them, you will not get them. Some of them are no longer councillors, some of them are no longer officials. Will this not be a waste of time? Perpetual investigation that is unending. But I think the bottom line, what comes out clear from members, is that there is still much to be done to go to the bottom of this report, to go to the bottom of all the issues that are raised, so that they are dealt with appropriately. And with what members are saying, I think we need to make this a case study of oversight and our role as Parliament to ensure that justice is seen to be done. I think one of the proposals might be that in the coming year, we as a committee visit Mpumalanga, that we must summon all these municipalities, even if it can be for 2 days or 3 days, we must be in Mpumalanga, not visiting them. We go to the legislature of Mpumalanga, we are there for 3 days, we call all of them one by one to give an account of what is happening. But we must also invite the NPA, the National Prosecuting Authority. We must also invite the law enforcement agencies, the Hawks, and all the agencies where these matters were reported to. If they were reported to the SIU, we must also invite them. All of them under one roof. They must give us an account of why are they dragging their feet to finalize these cases. And whether this is true or not, that these cases were brought to their attention and that they are investigating these cases, and why are they taking so long when people are concerned about corruption that is perpetuated throughout across the country? Why are they taking so long to finalize these cases? Maybe as part of an overall suggestion would be to say, we know the report that the MEC has presented. We are happy that this report was very detailed. It addressed the situation municipality per municipality, but the concern is that it doesn't deal with the substantiveness of the issues in respect of the concomitant actions which were taken against the perpetrators of this wrongdoing, and that these cases are taking a long time, and that doesn't make members of Parliament happy. And therefore, we need to really follow up on this. Make this a special case. In the first term, we request Parliament to release us for a week to go to Mpumalanga to go and deal with all of these issues. We invite the MEC, we invite all the leaders of all these cited municipalities here, invite all the law enforcement agencies to deal with all these issues, go to the bottom of all of these issues, because they've got to be resolved in the best interest of the people, of the residents of Mpumalanga in those particular areas. I'm not sure, maybe this is something that can be done to address the concern that members are raising. And the concern is that this report has got its own shortcomings in that whilst it has addressed issues pertinently, it doesn't really demonstrate to us that real action is taken against the perpetrators. In fact, it is taking a long time to resolve some of these issues. And therefore, as an overarching point, we resolved to visit Mpumalanga around February next year, end of February next year, for this purpose, to go and deal with this, because this is a matter of serious concern for us. I'm not sure if there is any member of parliament who want to say something before I invite the MEC to can comment and make some remarks, take into account what members of parliament are saying and the firm proposal that I put on the table about how we must take these processes forward. Any member wants to say something, who feels strong that he must say something? Is that you, Honorable Kenny Musamai?
Yes, Chairperson. Chairperson, to be honest, that is not a report. That is not a report. That is just to play with our mind and to test us. I support what you are saying, that we must go to Mpumalanga and sort out this problem. We can sort it out. Because the MEC and his team, they're just coming and tell us what is not there. They fail to prosecute people who are corrupt. They want to come and tell us that after the election, people went out. He thinks where he is, or he's just talking to the people who are illiterate.
Honorable Musamai,
No, we must go to
Honorable
Mpumalanga.
Musamai, can I just correct one thing? The report is on the table. Members of parliament are not happy about some of the issues in the report, but that cannot be said that there is no report. There is a report, and this report is shedding light, serious light about the situation in the municipalities in respect of the investigations which were conducted. I don't want us to leave that impression that there is no report. The report is on the table. It has shortcomings, and we need to ensure that we fill up all the gaps that are rising in that report. Can I then give over to the Honorable MEC to can make some comments before we make some roundup issues? Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Dodovi, for the opportunity that is given to me again, Chair. I think, Honorable Chair, I'm taking all the recommendations and the suggestions from honorable members in as far as the report is concerned. Maybe, Honorable Chair, I must mention that maybe the way we were doing things at Cooperative in terms of when we conduct some of the investigation, that we need also to report or to give the report back to the municipality so that they can be able to act against the findings on the report, Chairperson. That was based on Section 154 of the Constitution, that as a provincial government, we must support and strengthen the capacity of municipalities to manage their own affairs. I think that was based on that after the investigation have been done, we then table that report to the council so that council can develop an action plan in terms of how are they going to resolve on the matters. However, Chairperson, as I indicated earlier on, that we have established the project steering committee that will also assist us as a department in terms of implementation of this investigation report. And I've also mentioned that the delay in terms of the functionality of the committee is that all the members that have been appointed must be vetted, and that it's not at our jurisdiction. Somebody has to do that. However, Chairperson, I'm taking all the suggestions from honorable members in terms of the consequence management that have must be implemented on those that being fined acting against the law, Chairperson. And also on issues of Dr. J.S. Moroka, we've tried Chair, because after we've given them the report, they have also done the action plan, and ours was also to monitor that they are doing their work, but it was so difficult, Honorable Chairperson. I think the last suggestion that you have said, to say that the members of the select committee must come to Mpumalanga and invite all the relevant stakeholders, municipalities, and also your SIU, your Hawks, your NPA, to come and maybe each and everyone be given an opportunity to say in terms of how far are we in terms of resolving the case. Chairperson, I'm taking that because Dr. J.S. Moroka's files have been handed over to the Hawks on the 18th of November. Because of that it's so difficult. It was so difficult for us to get a report from that municipalities. But I'm taking all the suggestions cited by honorable members based on the report. I'm taking that you are saying that there has been shortcomings in terms of the report. We're taking that, and we will also improve, Honorable Chair. And I think the issue of the project steering committee would also really assist us, because the integrity management unit at the office of the Premier is the one that can also assist us as a department in that regard. But I'm taking all the suggestions, Honorable Chairperson. Much.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable members, that is that. The bottom line is that we will visit Mpumalanga province early next year to go and confront all of these issues which were raised. We will invite all the stakeholders, including the project steering committee. We will invite the law enforcement agencies to come and give account on why they are dragging to finalize all of these many cases which were brought to their attention. We will invite these municipalities to come and give an account why they have not implemented and follow up the recommendations which are contained in the reports. We will ensure that we deal with these issues quite appropriately, because ours is to ensure that oversight happens, that everybody who is responsible account for their own actions or inactions, and that at the end of the day, the monies are recovered, the perpetrators are arrested, and those who committed wrongdoing in the municipalities are fired, or they face the necessary consequences in respect of what they have done. This is a collective view of the meeting, and there's nothing again that needs to be taken forward. Is there anything that you want to raise on the basis of this summary I've made, or you are satisfied?
Chairperson, we can't hear you, Chair.
You can hear me.
We can
Is that better now? Is that better now, Honorable Sheikh?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, it's okay. All that I was saying is that we will In the coming year, early in the beginning of the year, we will visit Mpumalanga to follow up on all of these issues, invite all the stakeholders who must come and give an account of their actions or inactions in respect of this. With that, honorable members, thank you very much for attending this meeting. To just remind you that some of us have got another meeting at 6 o'clock this evening that we need to attend. But on the basis of that, thank you very much for attending the meeting. Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, your HOD, and other senior officials of the department for attending this meeting. The meeting stand adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Recording stopped.
We thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.